Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us once again on the D-Star01 channel. I'm your host, Dexter Arafiles. At SDCC 2018, I had a choice. My wife Janelle said for my birthday to choose between the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Soul of Chogokin Black Megazord. The decision was a difficult one, but seeing the Black Megazord while I was in line for the Tamashii Nations booth made me flash back to the times when teenagers in spandex fighting monsters was everything I ever wanted in a TV show. The martial arts, the theme song, and the costumes. What kid didn't want to be a Power Ranger? While I did want the TMNT set, as that also has a very special place in my heart, it was the fact that I have an affinity to giant fighting robots that tipped the scales in making my decision. So the question is, was it worth it? Brace yourself, fellow Rangers, this review is a long one, so let's find out in this toy review of Soul of Chogokin GC-72B SDCC 2018 Black Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you watched my reviews before, you know what I always start with, and that's the negatives. So when it comes to this figure, the big negative for me is the absurd price of $300 US at the convention, and I can only imagine what he's going for on eBay. No matter who you are, this is a hefty price for any collector, and pulling the trigger on it is a substantial amount of damage to anyone's wallet.
Now that's a lot of damage!
For me, it is worth it considering not many of these are being made, and once they are gone, I will not regret not having one in my collection. My last negative is, after pulling him together, I found the biggest problem I have while transforming him is putting Pterodactyl on tank mode's back. Besides that, I gotta say, I giggled and clapped for joy like a schoolgirl when I got him together to form Megazord, and I was so happy to have this toy. So for this review, I'll be going over each individual dino, and I'll be going over paint and detail as well as their each and individual articulations. Starting with the Tyrannosaurus, he is mostly made from die-cast metal, and his overall paint scheme, as the name implies, is a glossy black. The legs, arms, and chest feature a dark metallic gray with green accents, which assures that he's not a totally black figure. Small details like how his mouth opens to show his blasters, the cookie joints on his waist, and the multi-articulated tail show Chogokin's attention to detail to each and every Dinozord. Looking at articulation on the T-Rex, he has an up and down at the ankle, a small up and down movement at the knee which hides the transforming pegs, thigh rotation, clicky joint upper legs, rotatable clicky waist, ball jointed shoulder, double jointed elbow, up and down the wrist, up and down at the bottom claw, and up and down at the jaw, as well as 6 articulation points at the tail, giving this figure a whopping 26 points of articulation. The Tyrannosaurus is easily the most articulated one out of all the dinos, and he looks absolutely amazing. Looking at Triceratops, we basically have a tank, which pretty much is what he is in the show. Like his fellow dinos, he features a mostly glossy black finish with gold trimmings at his neck. The one thing I found really cool about this figure is that his horns can be pulled out, and to my delight, and has a chain attached to them, just like the show. The problem is you have to slowly put them in like so, and could take some time. Also, his tail reveals his blaster and can be moved, as you can see here. His articulation is limited, much like in the TV show, because he is a tank. Hence, we get an up and down at the neck, with a ball joint as well. Up and down at the tail, rotation at the blaster, and the wheels go up and down for a total of about 7 points of articulation. Overall, a really nice looking Zord on its own. Looking at the Sabertooth Tiger next, this one is really awesome looking and competes as my favorite Zord next to the T-Rex. It features the same glossy black finish, and it makes this one in particular look really good. I honestly like this Zord in black rather than yellow, but that's just me. Much like the other Zords, she has clicky joints to assure you get the most sturdiest articulation points. Speaking of articulation, she has an up and down at the fang, up and down at the mouth, ball joint at the upper neck, up and down at the neck, 3 up and down joints at the legs, and an up and down at the tail, giving you a total of about 17 points of articulation. Really awesome and very poseable. Sabertooth Tiger really reminds me of a dark version of a Voltron lion. Looking at the Mastodon Sword, he features a really nice metallic silver finish at the horns, and the black finish with spots of green as well. While he doesn't move much, he does play a big part in the transformation, which we will show in just a bit. Looking at articulation, he lacks a lot of articulation, and it makes sense though when you transform him. His articulations include 3 at the trunk, up and down at the neck, and some could say his hind legs move up and down, but they are mostly for the transformation. Like the other Zords, I love his look and finish. Lastly, the Pterodactyl is amazing looking, mostly because of the polished silver chest piece with a mirror finish. This finish contrasts with the black and looks so awesome. Pterodactyl also comes with these cannons that attach to her tail, like so. These same blasters can be stored in the Tyrannosaurus, as you can see here. Looking at articulation, she has folding wings and a head that moves back. Overall, the Pterodactyl looks really great, and I can't wait for you to see her on the chest of the Megazord. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, transforming him into the Megazord. The detailed and beautiful manual suggests you transform the Megazord into tank mode first, so let's do that. Triceratops pushes the wheels in and tucks the tail back. Sabertooth Tiger locks the teeth up, tucks the hind legs and tail. Pterodactyl tucks the head and wings like so. Mastodon requires you to fold back the leg covers and folding them up so you can tuck them in and act as covers. The forelegs fold up and to the side and then up like so you can prepare the arms. The Tyrannosaurus requires you to reveal the transforming peg on his leg by pulling the knee cover and pulling up on the revealed peg. Now put the transformed Sabertooth Tiger and Triceratops in the T-Rex leg pegs. Oh my. Then remove the Mastodon head from the body and reveal the pegs on the head. These pegs attach to another hidden peg on the T-Rex's chest. Mastodon then wraps around the back of T-Rex by attaching these well-placed pegs into the T-Rex's peg holes on his back. Then, in the Mastodon's feet, reveals pegs for the chest for the Pterodactyl. These pegs are a little bit inconvenient, so please be patient with it. Then place the guns on the arms to complete tank mode. Wow, just look at this. This is an amazing piece. For the final Megazord transformation, remove the cannons on the arms and place them on Mastodon's feet. Transform the arms like so to reveal his hands. Remove the Mastodon head to make the shield. The T-Rex tail then has a hidden peg that needs to be revealed, so you can tuck the tail up. Move the heads of Triceratops and Sabertooth up to make the feet. Then open Tyrannosaurus' chest to tuck the head in and reveal the Megazord head and its horns. Pterodactyl then attaches to the chest. Lastly, place this beautiful black glossy metal-like sword in his hand and Mastodon's head as a shield, and finally we have the masterpiece that is the Megazord. This piece is just a sight to behold. The finish, the way the whole thing comes together, and all the individual dinos are just simply amazing and will make any fan of the series proud. Now let's look at articulation and scale of Megazord. He stands at about 10 inches tall, maybe a little more, and here he is next to SH Figuarts Unmasked Red and Green Ranger, Marvel Legends Punisher, and Soul of Chogokin, Mega Man. He does not scale with 1/12 scale figures, obviously. That's because Soul of Chogokin goes by their own scale. Finally, let's look at articulation on this big guy. Rotation at the feet, up and down at the ankle, bend at the knee, ball joint at the leg, rotatable waist, ball joint at shoulder, bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, rotatable wrist, and rotatable head, giving you about 18 points of articulation, which is a lot for a figure of this size and weight. Which, by the way, he weighs a hefty 3 pounds due to his die-cast parts. So, let's finish this review. If you are willing to spend the money knowing that this figure is nothing more than a black glossy version of the original, then by all means do so. What you are getting is a solid quality figure that is everything a Megazord toy should be. Therefore, for me, he is an easy buy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.
Hey you! Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.